Hi. Declan.
Yes, sir. They just grow up so fast, don't they? Not fast enough. Gregory will now be talking to you. Years from now, look back on all this. Declan, you man. I imagine that it'll get to the point where they will want you to so much. So, anyway, who gives you handsome?
Hey, Dad.
Hey, what?
Did you know Anchor distributes our podcast to Spotify and Apple Podcasts free of charge?
No way. Did you also know Anchor has everything you need to make a podcast, including tools and tips on how to grow your audience and fan base?
Yes! Anchor is the best way to start and grow your podcast for absolutely free. Make sure to check out Anchor and download the free Anchor app, or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Goodbye! Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to another episode of the Rhodes Less Traveled. I keep listening back to our episodes after we record, and the last two episodes, I noticed that I started by singing some kind of song or something. So I'm just wondering when we're gonna get sued. Hopefully not anytime soon or in the nearby future. So yeah, we're just figuring it out. We're figuring out how we want to start each episode, and yeah. One thing before we start, I wanted to ask. I had on our Facebook page of the Roads Less Traveled, I had shared a picture of you. I had shared this picture for people listening who obviously can't see the photo that I'm referencing right now. It's my father. Do you know how old you are on this photo?
Yeah, I was 5.
He's 5 years old. Whoa. And he's got a long sleeve shirt on, and it looks like it's covered in like, I really don't know. I had a friend. It's pipes. That's what I thought. Okay, yeah, it looked like fountains or something, or pipes. I really love this shirt. I love it. I do. I you know me. I love patterns on shirts. What? Do you not? You don't like this shirt?
No, absolutely not.
I guess that is, maybe it's a generational thing.
Didn't like it then and don't like it now.
You're smiling very, very well.
Yeah, because it's class pictures for kindergarten.
Oh, is that what this is?
For kindergarten,
For kindergarten.
Absolutely
Oh,
hated that
whoa.
shirt.
That's so cool.
No,
oh my
not.
gosh. Wow, that's wild. So yes, to answer my friend's question, she had wondered what was on your shirt. It's pipes. Yeah. So yes. Another thing I'd like to do before we jump into the main part of our episode today, kind of always love to start off with a pre-question, and this might be a little biased because you still do scouts with Aiden now. You're still pretty involved.
Correct.
So do you know the Scout Oath and Scout Law?
I do.
You do. Yeah. If we can say it, we're on the count of 3, we'll say it together, and we'll see if I remember it as well.
Okay.
So we'll help each other out. Okay.
Cool.
So 1, 2, 3. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, and to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Morally straight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then the Scout Law.
Yeah.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Yes. Okay. It's okay.
Better than me.
We were a little rusty, but we got through it.
You were good. I wasn't.
We got through it. It was good. Everyone who has no idea what that is wondering what cult we are in right now. They are to answer your question, it is the cult of the Boy Scouts of America, the wonderful BSA in the USA. So yes, and we'll get more into that in the coming episode. But something new I wanted to try. I wanted to play a game with you before we get into the main meat of our episode. And, I was writing this down. I was like, what would be fun or a kind of fun thing to do? And so this game is called Does He Soar? Just imagine my booming voice in the mic right now. And basically, I have a list of 10 10 people, and I'm going to tell you their name, kind of a little bit what they've done, and I want you to tell me if they're an Eagle Scout or not.
Okay.
Some of these people you will know, some of these people you will not know. I did not know all of them, but it's okay. We'll see what you score at the end, and we'll judge you forever based on that.
Wow.
Okay, so up first we have David Archuleta. Do you recognize that name?
Yeah.
Okay. A little about him. He's a singer-songwriter, and he's most notable for coming in second place on American Idol in 2008. Wow. Does David Archuleta soar?
No.
Incorrect. He actually does. He is an Eagle Scout. David Archuleta is an astounded Eagle Scout.
Wow.
So, Brother David does soar amongst the Eagles.
Wow.
Number 2, we have Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Does he soar?
Harrison Ford soars.
He does not, actually. He got to Life Scout. So he got to the step right before Eagle. And obviously for younger listeners or people who don't necessarily recognize that name, Harrison Ford is most known for playing Han Solo and Indiana Jones in his respective career. So yes. Okay, number 3, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, I'm going to say he does not soar.
Correct! You are right! Bill Gates does not soar amongst the Eagle brethren. Bill Gates was a Life Scout and a co-founder of Microsoft, for those that don't know. But, fun little tidbit, his father, William H. Gates Sr., was a distinguished Eagle Scout.
Wow.
So, yes. Number 4, Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong, wow. The astronaut. I will have to say Neil Armstrong soars.
Yes, he does. He soars. He soars so high, literally so high. He was the first astronaut to step foot on the moon. So we love our good old moon boy. Also, little side note: anyone that still doesn't believe in the moon landing, please go ahead and unfollow me. I'm thinking of someone very specifically right now. I'm calling out you, Haley. She does believe in the moon landing, but she also, I think, loves to think of conspiracy theories. So I don't know. I also love a good conspiracy theory, but we made it to the moon, people. Wake up. Number 5, Arthur Gary Bishop. This was not a name I recognized, so don't feel bad if you don't.
I say he did not soar.
He actually did. Arthur Gary Bishop is an Eagle Scout. Now, unfortunately, when I was creating this list, I just wanted to kind of, go over the full gambit of what an Eagle could become. And most infamously, Arthur Gary Bishop is actually a serial killer. So, Eagles, you can be whatever you want. Yeah, that's the point of that. But I think it's important, just to realize that, it's been said before that, everyone has like their shtick, their thing. Some people enjoy camping or hiking, and some others like embezzlement and serial killing. And some people do it all. Arthur did it all. So yes, that is the life lesson that Scouts can literally be whatever they want. Number 6, Phyllis Fry. This was also a name I did not recognize.
Fry. I say does not soar.
Phyllis Fry actually does soar.
Goodness.
It's okay.
Horrible.
It's okay. You're guessing on the names you don't know. You're all good. But Phyllis Fry was actually the first transgender woman to be appointed as a judge in Texas. I thought that was interesting. Okay, number 7, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Wow. Brad Pitt does not soar.
Correct! Brad Pitt does not soar. He might soar in other facets of his life, like being a multimillionaire in terms of his acting career, but he is not an Eagle Scout. But But yes, one of the most famous actors of all time, especially from the Springfield area.
Yeah.
He actually, fun little fact, went to Kickapoo High School and studied at the University of Missouri for a little bit. He actually was studying journalism and advertisement, which I just thought was interesting. But he dropped out and then obviously became the pretty boy we all know today. Yeah. Number 8. I think this is how you pronounce his name. His name is John Heder.
John Heder. I'd say John Heder did soar as an Eagle Scout.
John did. Johnny Boy did. John is most known for starring as Napoleon Dynamite in
Oh my goodness.
Napoleon Dynamite. Little side note, I should note that I'm bad and I still have not seen that movie. I don't know how I haven't seen that movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Do you remember a lot of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I just never saw it. I guess it was probably because it was like really big when I was in middle school, and it's probably not like I know a few things.
I think it's one of those movies that's a cult.
Oh yeah.
Cult following.
Oh no, definitely, it's built a cult following.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is not a cult I have joined yet. Number 9, Jay Nixon.
Ooh, Jay Nixon is a Eagle Scout.
Ding, ding, ding. Yes, he does fly amongst the brethren of the Eagles. Jay Nixon, for those that don't know, was the 55th governor of Missouri from 2009 to 2017. Thank you, Jay, for all your work. Shout out to you. Okay, number 10, last but not least, is an actor named Sterling K. Brown.
Is an Eagle Scout.
I'm sorry, he is not. He did not fly amongst the Eagles. I couldn't find anything about him being in Scouts, but you might recognize Sterling from
This
his
Is Us.
from Black Panther, This Is Us, and Angry Birds 2. Angry Birds the movie 2. But yes, I just thought it was interesting that he played Randall in.
Yeah. Which
This
a
Is
role
Us.
he'll go down in history for.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
More so than his other acting
Yeah.
accolades.
Well, and a lot of people like Black Panther, and I mean, I'd never seen Angry Birds the movie 2, but there was a first one, and they made a second one, so something's working. I also just wanted to add him because I knew if I remember correctly, Randall is not a character you particularly love on that show, correct?
Correct.
Yes. But yes, so that was our little game of Does He Soar?
That's
and I'm
cool.
counting back, and you managed to get 4 out of 10, which is not horrible because a lot of these names you did not know, and also I did not know before looking up this list. So do not feel bad. A 40 is a win in my heart. Okay. Yes. So that was our fun little opener.
That's awesome.
So kind of just jumping right into our main topic of today. Do you remember what was the earliest memory you have of Scouts?
Wearing that blue shirt, being a Cub Scout.
Did you start out in Tiger Scouts?
No, I know I did not because there was a den ahead of me, so I think I started out as a bear.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And bear is blue handkerchief. Yeah, I think I started out as a bear.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And for folks listening at home, basically the way the world of scouting works, there is 2 tiers. There is Cub Scouts, and then there is Boy Scouts, actual Boy Scouts. Cub Scouts starts, I believe, technically in 1st grade with Tiger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the ranks for that are Tiger, Bear or Wolf, Wolf or Bear, something next.
Yeah, I know.
And then Weeblo.
Weeblo, yeah.
Weeblo 1 and 2.
Which is now Arrow of Light.
Oh, okay. Oh, they changed the name from Weeb. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Arrow.
Yeah. And then there's also the Bobcat, correct?
Actually, it's Tiger, Bobcat. I think wolf, bear.
Yeah.
We-
Or I. It's
Shame on us.
It's been a while since I've looked at a book, but
Somebody
Cub Scouts was a while ago, guys. Give us a break.
Somebody will look it up.
Someone will look it up. Someone will write us a very strongly worded email, and we will apologize next time. But also, I'm thinking Webelow was not Webelow. Bobcat. I'm trying to remember if it was like its own separate rank, or if you just like you got
Right.
Bobcat. Like if you because I didn't start out. I started out as a wolf. I didn't do.
I just know you started out after Tigers.
Yes,
when
in second grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you started in second grade.
second
We didn't
grade.
get in first grade,
Which would have, I
So,
believe it would have been
second rank,
wolf,
whatever the
and
same
then
rank. Yeah, I
bear
think
in
you're
third
right.
grade,
Yep.
and then Webelow 1 and 2.
In fourth
Yeah.
and fifth. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay. So you remember the blue shirt? Yes, I very much remember the blue shirt as well. I would probably say one of my earliest scouting memories in terms of Cub Scouts, even from the very beginning, was meeting at South Elementary and just all the parents going over like boring stuff, and all the boys, we went off with one of the scoutmasters and just blew baking soda bottle rocket things. And I just, oh my gosh, I remember thinking, what am I about to get myself into? Yeah. So do you remember exactly what grade you started?
I think it had to be second or third.
Second or third?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the Cub Scout pack that I was in. It was obviously it was church sponsored. It was heavy support and involvement by our church, by the
Awesome.
church.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. So who was it, I guess, that kind of spearheaded you getting into that?
Miss Harvey, actually. Yeah, she was one of the church moms. Forgive me, this is terrible, but the church was Pleasant Green Missionary Baptist Church, and she wasn't a deacon, but she was like a deacon for whatever the women role was in a Baptist church at that time. But she was heavily involved in church, and when I was in Sunday school class. Yeah, in Sunday school class one Sunday, she asked me or said something about Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts, and I showed an interest to her, and she said, "Well, you need to be here at the church Tuesday night at 6:30." Tuesday, and that's when my mom took me. Believe it or not, and I showed up.
Did any of your siblings or nephews also join?
Negative.
It was just you.
I was the only one, only person in that family to go to join Cub Scouts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So obviously she was that's awesome that you say Miss Harvey.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because years later in my adult life, I know her son. Her son is Cornell.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is full circle, come full circle.
Yeah. That's awesome. So I guess kind of want to just going through your scouting career. So you started, let's say, second or third grade ish. And I mean, I guess before we should also say you did not go on to
Achieve Eagle.
Yeah.
No, I did not. I stopped at life, I believe. I either stopped at life or the rank before life. What's before life? Star. No, I stopped at life.
Yeah. For listeners at home, you're just learning a whole lot of the scouting world today. You're welcome. This is free, by the way. So the Boy Scout ranks, you start with Scout, and then Tenderfoot, and then second class, first class, Star, Life, and then Eagle.
Yeah.
And then after you achieve the rank of Eagle, before your 18th birthday, you can go on to earn Eagle Palms. Which is basically just you earn more merit badges and So do you remember, were a lot of your other friends at school also involved in scouting? Do you remember about how big your den started out as?
Our den was about 10 to 12 strong.
Yeah.
None of those Cub Scouts were in my grade or at my school.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
They from the neighborhood. None was from the neighborhood either. They were from other neighborhoods.
Do you remember what den number it was?
I do not. I remember my troop.
What troop number was that?
Troop 91.
Troop 91.
Yeah.
So do you remember? So obviously, I just think about like my scouting career and doing Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts and everything, and just one being so thankful for you and Mom being very supportive and always just taking me to campouts or letting me like go with other boys to attend service projects or merit badges and whatnot. So I'm just obviously, we've talked about you not necessarily having the best or really kind of any support system at all at home.
Right.
So kind of what was it still Miss Harvey that was driving all of that and teaching you and all the other boys in this den?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. She was more than a den leader. She's a parent to those of us that had parents maybe, but weren't involved or weren't parenting, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So she was a mom in that aspect. She was a protector, and she was a disciplinarian as well. She didn't let you be a knucklehead. If you was going down that road, she made sure she steered you the right path to go or the correct way to walk that path, so to speak. And she was a leader. I mean, she's somebody I looked up to for years and still did. I mean, may she rest in peace. I think. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. She was a huge part. I'd say of my upbringing in younger years, as the Robinsons were a focal point in my life from 9 to 16. Mrs. Harvey was a major focal point in my life from age 7 to Boy Scouts. I became a Boy Scout. I mean, and thereafter, because she'd see me at church or in Sunday school once I had ranked up and transferred over into the troop and asked, hey, are you still with Scouts? Are you still, how you like it, what you're doing in Scouts? She was still a part of that.
Yeah.
And those years in Cub Scouts and the interaction with Miss Harvey made me a better person, made me focus, but made me a good person not to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to do anything that would upset or hurt Miss Harvey.
Yeah. So I think another interesting aspect to think about is, this is obviously mid 70s to early 80s-ish time. And the world of scouting has drastically changed in terms of, we think today, like, girls can be in Boy Scouts too as well. Yeah. So in terms of, like, Cub Scouts, were they still doing like, belt loops at this point?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's... Yes. So again, for our listeners, basically in the world of Cub Scouts, it would work. You would rank up and earn achievements, and you had a little belt, and you would earn little aluminum metallic-ish belt loops on each thing. There could be hundreds of things: archery, camping, painting,
canoeing,
whatever,
cooking,
cooking, any subject you can think of. Yeah. There is a belt loop for it.
Yeah, it is literally,
which is obviously contrast with Boy Scouts, where you don't learn or you don't earn belt loops anymore, but actual merit badges, which is cool. To put on a sash and be fully decked out. So, do you remember your crossover from the Cub Scout world into Boy Scouts? Did a lot of boys from the den that you were in also crossover with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was this your den predominantly black?
Yeah, it was all
church?
black.
All black. Yeah.
The first interaction or integration, I guess, with white scouts was when we went to jamborees.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, whoa. Okay, so you've been to jamborees before.
Jamborees, not in the sense of the one that you went to in 2013. They
Yes.
were much smaller.
Yes.
But still, yeah, they were. That was my first, actually, in my life. See, again, come back to that was my first interaction with whites. Would have been in scouting.
Wow.
At jamborees, that was my first. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you do jamborees in Cub Scouts or just Boy Scouts?
No, and Cub Scouts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's so drastically different. Yeah. And yeah,
But definitely in Boy Scouts. Yeah. Jamborees.
Yeah. I have only been to one jamboree, as Gregory was mentioning, in 2013. So blessed and so thankful to have joined Carter Norton from Troop 201, represent, to the National Jamboree in 2013 at the Bechtel Summit Reserve, which was huge at the time because it was the first time it was being open to the public. It was built this wonderful place out in West Virginia. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, also one thing I remember about that summer was before we went to the reserve, the summit, for I want to say a week and a half, we spent I think like 4 days in Washington D.C., which has been the one and only time I've ever been to the Capitol, and it was just so cool.
Yeah.
Just seeing like all the monuments you see on TV and movies, but just like being there and seeing them, it's just crazy. And then also seeing a hamburger at McDonald's cost like $13. Like I'm shooting in the dark. I don't know if it was exactly $13, but it was hella expensive. It was really expensive. Yeah. So that's really cool that you did a lot of jamborees kind of growing up. So moving more into Boy Scouts, again, obviously the world of scouting has changed so much, and the requirements and the badges you need. Do you remember camping quite a lot?
Yeah.
Do you remember any names kind of popping up of like campsites or campgrounds that you would go
SF
to?
Bar Ranch in St. Louis, or outside St. Louis.
Okay.
That's a big one. Another one was Babbler State Park. We went there. That's up in St. Louis area, the West County area, I think.
Yeah.
Babbler State Park, something like that. But yeah, pretty much. And the other ones, the little ones, I don't remember. But yeah, SF Bar Ranch, we went there a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's another thing I'm very grateful for in terms of Troop 201 and scouting, was just all the places we went in terms of camping and opportunities for merit badges, and going down to Arkansas to hike or do some kind of backpacking trip, or out to Oklahoma for a week-long summer camp, Camp Hale.
Yeah. I didn't go that far. I would have loved to went that far.
Yeah, it was just so cool. I mean, I feel like some of like the best early summer memories I have are from scout camp.
And we camped on the weekends like you guys did, and we camped in the summer. But for some reason, I mean, seared in my mind as I sit across from you thinking, I can only remember camping when it was cold, because I thought, this is and I can remember that now. Yeah, sorry about that. I can remember that now, but when you was in Scouts, I for some reason forgot all about it, because when we went camping and it was cold in the fall and winter, I didn't think nothing of it. I just thought, wow. But yeah, I can vividly remember going camping. Yeah, it was just like, this is stupid. I mean, we're freezing.
So yeah.
Why aren't we inside a cabin or something? Putting up a tent at 8 o'clock at night, it's dark, and having to use the car headlights to put up a tent, and you're freezing, shaking. Yeah. But I wouldn't trade that for anything. It made me who I am.
Yeah.
Part of who I am too.
Yeah. Camping and extreme weather conditions is definitely has its ups and downs for sure. I mean, you are someone that I know very much. I remember teaching me that you enjoy the cold more than hot, just because you can cover up more than take everything off and still be hot. But yes, camping in extreme cold is it's a lot. So there was camping. Did you ever do like any float trips or anything?
No, I don't recall doing any float trips. Nope. I did more float trips in college with the Wesley Foundation than I did in scouting. That I remember.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think another cool thing about Troop 201 was, you can see it on the new trailer that they just like painted of all the past Eagle Scouts and how many there are, and it still doesn't show all of them.
Yeah.
But
they've updated because your name's on it now.
Yes, my mom showed. Mom showed me that. That was cool. Yeah, it's just cool to know like the legacy that like Troop 201 has and how many Eagles have come out of it. And just like now talking about it, thinking about how I started Cub Scouts with probably I would say 10, 15 boys.
Yeah. 7 you crossed over.
I'm glad you remember that.
Yeah, your den. Yeah, we had a den of 15.
Yeah.
Active. I mean, there every Tuesday, and went on every camping trip or outing, or 95% of them was a solid 11 scouts. So we had a den of 15, solid 11 scouts that were very active.
Yeah.
That ranked up from the lower rank all the way up to what Weeblo 2, or what we call now Arrow of Light, who got the Arrow of Light.
Yeah.
Well, 7 of you guys crossed over into Boy Scouts. And of that 7, 2 of you made it past the first year of scouting. And from then there, you were the only one from the Den 7 that went all the way and made the Eagle Scouts.
I know. It's crazy.
It's a very, very, you're in a very small group of distinguished men and women.
Yeah.
Or man right now.
No, you're 100% right. It's kind of cool because like, being in college, I'll be a senior this fall, and I had kind of always thought about like rushing and doing fraternity life, Greek life, but one, just not necessarily having the time to do it because of my major is so busy all the time with classes and rehearsals and everything. And 2, also financially, because it can get pretty expensive to rush. Yeah. That's what they don't tell you. But yeah, no. And coming to college and meeting other Eagle Scouts, there's a dance major who's an Eagle Scout. Wow. It was like we just found that out, and it was a click instantly. Like we just had, it's like truly as a brotherhood in terms of like having things to talk about. Like what was our project? Yeah. What was our favorite outing? Our favorite merit badge we got?
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm just so excited that I get to take that with me.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I mean it looks so good on a resume. To know that. I'm very proud that I had the support system and help and friends and family to accomplish all of that. And yeah, I mean, we always growing up too, we would hear in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts of, people like having job interviews or people looking at people's resumes and stuff, and, them looking at 2 virtually identical people, and one's an Eagle, and they're going to pick the Eagle Scout over.
I actually know supervisors or employers who, when they're looking at applications or they're interviewing and both candidates are equal, and if one's a Eagle Scout and one's not, hands down, they take the Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
They take the Eagle Scout.
It's, again, this is my mantra that Eagle Scouts in general, people in general, to all humans, you can be anything you want to be. as we know, or for those people that know, I'm a musical theater major at MSU right now. And most recently in February, I went to this large Midwest audition, which is basically just you singing and doing a monologue for a bunch of summer stock theaters across the Midwest. And I actually got a call back to a place because I have Eagle Scout written on my resume on like special skills and awards. I had a place that called me back for this role for the love interest in Freaky Friday the musical. And one of the panels, when I came back to my callback, had mentioned how she had never met an Eagle Scout she didn't like. And I'm 100% guaranteed that being on my resume was something that had to do with me getting a call back. Wow. And then, flash forward, I actually got offered the role. But long story short, couldn't take it. The pandemic, everything, yeah. The world ended, basically, you know. But yeah, it looks so good on a resume, and I'm just glad I have that to spark a conversation with for the rest of my life. So growing up, doing scouts, did you were you kind of always did you hope to make Eagle, or did you kind of what happened with you falling out?
Eagle was not as broadcasted as it is today.
Yeah.
What I mean by that, as soon as you got to when you crossed over, February of 2010, and we went to the first Boy Scout meeting, and at the first Boy Scout meeting, they talked to you guys about merit badges, camping, and stuff, and Eagle. That was like your goal. That was your Super Bowl, was to get to Eagle and earn your Eagle. It was not like that when I was in. It was not, and so, but literally, the saying that a lot of parents or a lot of scout leaders say about boys when they're achieving Eagle or trying to achieve their Eagle, they try to set an age, because they say, once you turn 16, it's gassing girls. Meaning,
the thing that'll kill an eagle fastest is gassing girls.
And so that just was not. But those were things that I saw in my troop, that boys, as they aged up and got the age to drive, get their license, you seldom see them anymore at meetings and stuff. Yeah. So that holds true. But Eagle was not touted or broadcast or talked about as much as it is now in scouts in my pack or my troop when I was growing up, which I hated, because like I say, it is the pinnacle of achievement in scouting. Yeah. And like I told you on your Eagle celebration, that like a Marine. There's no such a thing as he was a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Once an eagle, always an eagle.
Right. And I say that so much. You're in a select group. I wanted to join the military when I was 18, when I was graduating from high school. Yeah. Graduating from high school. I didn't do that, but I did it later in life. I was able to go back, or not go back, but I was able to join the military and achieve all that I achieved in it. But once you're 18, you can't go back and earn your Eagle. Yeah. And so you're in a very distinctive and select group, I say, that I can never be a part of. Your dad can never be a part of. So I just think it's awesome. But I wished it would have been more talked about and urgency placed on it, because who's to say I wouldn't have earned mine? It would have been a good thing. Mm-hmm. But your dad is not an Eagle Scout. But can never be.
But he's a wonderful man, and you've done tons of assistant scoutmastering stuff and scout mastering.
But that's the one thing that I never earned.
That kind of raises an interesting question. Are you glad that 18 is a cutoff? Do you wish that people could go back and get it?
No, it's right where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. You know what? Because it's it sets a precedent, or
No, I agree with you. Yeah.
I think you lose its lure, its esteem, its mystique. I think you lose all that if you all of a sudden say, you can go back and earn your eagle. Because guess what? It'd be easy for me to do merit badges as a adult, now versus when you were as a teenager. So, it needs to be 18.
Yeah.
It's right where it needs to be, and I hope that never changes.
Yeah,
because that gives you a sense of urgency, goal setting, and something to achieve, attain, and earn before your 18th birthday.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. I think also bringing back up, that was one of my favorite lines of being in Scouts, was hearing the fastest way to kill an eagle is girls and gas. Maybe that's why I got eagle. Maybe just because I only had gas to worry about in terms of killing an eagle. But I mean, no, yeah. I was surrounded by lots of girls, just friends, but there was plenty of gas too. But I still did it. I still did that shit.
Yeah. You were actually, you were on task, on point to make your eagle when you were 13.
I know. Yes.
No fault of your own by any means. You didn't achieve that, but you had set a goal, and you saw your goal, and you saw its ending. But you were on point to earn your eagle by the time you were 13. But the scoutmaster thought that was too young.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess, we should also, it wasn't just one person. It was a kind of I would say, a collective group too that weren't necessarily like telling me, don't get your eagle, but we're just definitely like kind of saying like, I was 13. I still had a whole 5 years left before I was in high school, and kind of just to not necessarily chill out, but just like have fun and camp and float trip and do all that, and it was really fun. And I eventually ended up getting it in 2015.
14.
Was it? I was either.
Your project you did
Where's
in
my
November.
wallet?
Your project you did in November of 2014.
That's right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And then spring of 15, you got it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and then officially my card. That's another thing. Every Eagle Scout gets an identification card with the date that you were officially knighted. Is August 16th, 2015.
Yep.
A day that shall go down in history for Declan Parker Rhodes. But yes, yeah. So growing up, or when you started having kids, did you know you wanted to put them in Scouts?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I whether it was going to be Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, they were going to be introduced to Scouts.
Yeah.
And at a young age, it's basically you're taking them to Scouts, and you're not forcing them, but you're making them be a part of Scouting.
Guide them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as they get older, whether they want to stay or not, that's up to them. They can make that decision.
Yeah.
But you were going to be introduced to Scouting, or I knew when I got married and have kids that they would be introduced to Scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm glad. And he can confidently say that all three of his kids have been introduced to Scouting.
Scouting, yes.
Aiden's currently still making his way. McKenna did
Girl Scouts,
daisies and
years,
brownies. Yeah.
Till competitive cheerleading.
Yes.
Took precedent.
Yes. That's another interesting thing. Just the vast difference between Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, I think, too.
Yeah. Not anymore, though.
Yes. And I mean, I think the institutions themselves are still how they're geared, from my understanding.
Right.
Boy Scouts still very, and then Girl Scouts, I just even remember like sometimes like going with McKenna to what to different events she would do. It was just like nothing like I was doing,
Right.
which I found really interesting. But yeah, it should be noted that I find it interesting that yes, for people who don't know, girls can, or people who identify as female, are allowed to join Boy Scouts now. It should be noted that when I had first heard that news, I remember first seeing this guy talk about it, and he was really, really outraged and very passionate, and thought that, you know, boys have their thing and girls have their thing. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw that video and heard the news, I was kind of a little mad too, just because from my understanding of scouting and the different branches of scouting, we had crew members and venture scouts.
Yes.
Which, for people who don't know or don't recognize, they wear, instead of the traditional tan that you see, they have a dark green top uniform. The cool thing about venture scouts too is not only do they got to do kind of more high adventure stuff, that lasted till 21.
Yes.
Which is another interesting facet. But yeah, what are some, or before we get into kind of your thoughts or ideas on that, I guess I should say, after a couple years have passed, and you know, I really haven't seen a lot of girls joining Boy Scouts troops. Are there any in Troop 201?
Yes.
Oh, there are.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
We have a whole sister troop now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's probably 15 or more.
Holy crap!
Girls.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Troop 201.
Who's in charge of
sister
that?
Troop. Huh?
Who's in charge of that?
Jeremy, Reese, and I forget the other person.
Do they? So I guess how does it? Do they all meet together? Co-ed?
Yes, they meet on the same. Well, they meet the same night, but the Boy Scouts are in this room and the Girl Scouts are in this room.
Okay.
At church.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Do they have their own book? Or is it all the same book?
That I don't know. I think they have their own. I think they used a Boy Scout book.
Yeah.
Because they were going on camping trips together, obviously just separated.
Yes.
But the merit badges, the same places that the boys go, the girls go. They may go either before or after, or on just depending on circumstance, go together. But yeah,
wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Well, good for Troop 201 for implementing that and taking that full head strong.
sister troop.
Um,
And we have Cub Scouts, Pack 75, Troop 201, Troop 201 sister troop, and then we have a venturing.
yes. Yeah.
Troop.
Also, a little thing we should mention. I always just find it interesting, and I never got into it. Obviously, we're landlocked in Missouri. But just the idea of like Sea Scouts, that is a whole branch of scouting that is a thing. And you know, actually, now I want to look at, are Air Scouts a thing too?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm looking this
I've
up.
never heard of that.
I haven't either, but just because there's Sea Scouts, I'm like, we got the earth, we got the sea, where's the air? You know, I can't see anything of it right now that I'm looking up. But yeah, sea scouting is just so interesting because obviously that would come with its own challenges of learning how to, I don't know, whatever people do on boats. Swab a poop deck. Man the crow nest. I don't know. I'm shooting in the dark here. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And a whole other thing we haven't even touched upon. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. What are your thoughts on sister troops and that implementation into the world of scouting?
Well, the way that Troop 201 and Ozark does it, I like.
Yeah.
They meet the same night, and they're apart, but they have their own separate troop and such.
Yeah.
I think it should be that way because, again, I think far as I'm concerned, really, I guess this probably is not your question, but I'll just answer or I say this. I don't have a problem with the Girl Scouts
Yes.
becoming Boy Scouts. It should be just Girl Scouts, and everything that's available for Boy Scouts, they should have made it equally available to Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't have this, the gentleman you said who was really debated and passionate about his point, you wouldn't have, because girls should be able to aspire, earn, achieve the same as Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that. I just, it was just the initial thought of the girls joining the boys.
Yeah.
Because that and all it, you can imagine, especially teenagers and adolescents.
You add teenagers, hormones.
Yeah,
You add puberty to the mix.
Yeah, and that's why they separate now. But their first 2 or 3 outings, the girls was in the Boy Scouts. They was in Troop 201.
Yeah.
And then I believe, and don't quote me on this because anybody listening out there from Ozark, Troop 201, but they had some incidents, and so they immediately was like, yeah, no, we're going to be separate. Mm-hmm. You're going to earn, you're going to have the right to earn and achieve and aspire to earn the same things the boys do, but you're not going to do it in a Boy Scout troop. You're going to do it in a Girl Scout troop because you're a Girl Scout have the same privileges and rights that the Boy Scouts have.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, definitely.
That, they should have they should have the opportunity to earn and achieve the same ranks and accolades as the boys do, but they need to do it in a Girl Scout troop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that answer your
yes,
question?
no,
I'm
that
not trying
definitely,
to skate
yeah.
around, of course.
Yeah, no, you're not. No, that definitely answered it. No, I definitely agree. I think that was another kind of initial pushback for it too at the beginning was this idea that, I can confidently say, and not to go off on a whole other tangent, just saying that like I identify myself as a feminist in terms that men and women are equal, and it goes without saying.
Right.
You should view them equally. They should receive equal pay for the same work, yada, yada, all that stuff. But on a biological level, in terms of male and female identification, biologically there are differences, obviously, things going on. Especially, again, you add puberty in the mix. You're adding puberty and hormones to that, and you want them to camp together?
Yeah.
You want them to camp together? They're sleeping. Intense.
To do that effectively, you're going to have every parent attend that camping trip that you don't want to have incidents.
Yeah.
And again, that's just not going to happen in Girl Scout and Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
You have those diehard parents who do attend and are attend, but if you look at the ratio of scouts attending camping and parents, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
Fair. So they have to be separated.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. With that said, I am excited to see a continued age of inclusivity and diversity amongst the Boy Scouts, and I can tell you in Troop 201, the addition of the Girl Scouts into Boy Scouts have lit a fire under a lot of Boy Scouts who were dragging their feet on their rank and their oh my goodness, I love
because
that.
Those girls came in. I mean, the troop's been there now 2 years, and there's girls they're going to make Eagle Scout. They're going to make Eagle Scout.
Lady.
They're going to make Eagle Scout in 201, and it's not trashing the guys. Hey,
yeah.
But they're going to make, there's Girl Scouts in Troop 201, Sister Troop, that's going to make Eagle Scout before a lot of the boys in 201 who's been in 201 longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that though after the first 6 months, let alone the first year, it lit a fire in a lot of those boys because they were like, holy cow, these girls are passing us. And they're going to the same merit badges. Yeah.
That's so, I love that so much. I didn't even think of that. But that totally makes sense.
And I'll never forget the first night at the meeting and they describing and talking about merit badge and Eagle Scout and stuff when they came over. It was this little young lady said, I'm going to be the first female Eagle Scout. And last I checked, she is hard charging. Yeah. She's hard
Yes,
charging.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, women, ladies, get it. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool. That's so funny. I mean, boys, this is what happens when we
Yeah.
get complacent.
Well, yeah.
This
Well,
is what
look,
happens when we
perfect
rest.
example is Gavin Reese. Is in the Boy Scouts, and his sister joined when the girls could join.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And she is running. She is on Gavin heels. Yep.
That's so funny.
Yep.
I love that.
And he's been in longer than his sister. Yeah.
That is, yes, that's a message to all the boys. Yeah, I mean, again, it goes without saying, the ladies, they've been killing the game. They know how to do what they need to do. I mean, they've been having to face tons of years of pushback and oppression to do it, but they know how to play around with the boys and everyone else. That's so funny. It just makes me think of, like, obviously I can't, like, fully speak to to a woman's experience through this, or a woman identifying person to this, but just like being able to have the right to vote or something,
Right.
or even, God forbid, rights to their own bodies, and just how yeah, fellas, we can't get complacent. We can't rest. Women are powerful. We love women. We are pro women here on the Roads Less Traveled. Yes. What was another interesting aspect, I think, that obviously we can't talk too much about because it is kind of a secret. But just in terms of Order of the Arrow, and that within the umbrella world of Scouts too.
Right.
But just basically for people who don't know what that is, the Order of Arrow is a society. Secret society within the world of Boy Scouts that is voluntary. You don't have to do it. But yeah, and you are actually going to camp.
We were supposed to be this weekend, and I was going to hopefully earn my brotherhood. But
Oh, yeah.
They canceled it.
Oh, why?
COVID.
Oh, duh. Okay, so I guess, I mean, other than all wearing masks, it would be hard to.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
There'll be another day.
Yeah, there'll be another one.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's cool that you're gonna earn your brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my brotherhood, and then what's the third level again? I forget.
I don't. Shame on me.
Vigil?
I don't know.
No, it's not Vigil.
I don't know.
I feel like there's a V in it. A V in it. While I'm looking this up, do you what are some things you're excited or maybe has been different watching Aiden come up through Boy Scouts rather than watching me?
Right.
So, differences or similarities or whatever.
Well, difference is, again, you were very driven. Aiden is not driven, but he wants to earn his merit badge, or he wants to earn Eagle, his rank of Eagle. He wants to earn that, but he's just not as driven as you were. I mean, like you went on a camp out and you did the merit badges that you did, and the day you got back, you were already looking at the next camp out and what merit badges are going to be available for me to earn.
Yeah.
Whereas Aiden is like, I'll do a merit badge here. I'll do a merit badge there,
Yeah.
So I got a feeling here. I mean, he's 14. The end of this year, he'll be 15. He's on track, but there's a motivation or more encouragement applied by your mother and I than we had to do with you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. God, I wonder what happened to that motivation for me. Not saying it's completely gone, but yeah, I really was a driven.
I mean, you was driven
kid. Yeah. I guess just because
you know what
I really wanted.
You knew what you wanted, and you set a path, and you set goals and objectives, and you went right down that path. and earned it and did it.
Easier said than done, for sure.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's absolutely easy.
Oh, I looked it up, by the way. Yes, the 3 levels of membership in Order of the Arrow are Ordeal, Brotherhood, and Vigil Honor. So I was right.
Yeah.
I know it's in there somewhere. It's somewhere up there, swimming around. Yeah. So, kind of closing out, what are some things you're glad that scouting taught you, and what are some things you're thankful to take away from scouting and thankful to see it with your kids through it?
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically fit and morally straight, mentally awake and morally straight. I'm sorry, I messed it up. But anyway, the honor, the oath, is what I enjoyed about it and what it did for me. It made me an unselfish person, wanting to help my fellow man, woman, and child, and to do my best to God and to my country. And later in life, as I said, I served my country in the Army. So that's what it did for me, and it gave me that groundwork or that framework to be a good person, to be a helper, and to serve.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I've really enjoyed my scouting days, and I know I'm not as involved with it now as I was in middle school and high school, but it is something I am able to look back on and be glad that I did it, and know that someday, hopefully, fingers crossed, when I have children of my own, that I can introduce them to it and lead them down that path. And I also, again, I'm just want to reiterate how glad I am to see an age of inclusivity and diversity in terms of who they're letting into Scouts and who's allowed to be in Scouts. We talked about the 2013 Jamboree, but that was back in a time where gay Scouts weren't allowed to be in Scouts if you were gay. It was something similar to the military, almost of a don't ask, don't tell situation, which is just, it's crazy to think about. And it was such a big thing, especially for this National Jamboree in 2013, that Carly Rae Jepsen, who was supposed to sing at the concert, she's the girl that does the "Hey, I just met you. This is crazy. Call me maybe" song, whatever. She pulled herself out of the concert because of that decision by Scouts to not let gay Scouts in. I'm just glad it's reaching more of an inclusivity age. And I should say that I'm 100% thankful to Troop 201 and all the boys I met through that process, and Scoutmasters I met through that process, who I felt zero animosity towards or any, negative energy from. I felt loved and accepted, even back then. That was before I was out, but yeah, I don't know. Everyone kind of figured, Alas, I digress. What is something you're thankful for coming up?
I guess, tomorrow, your mom and I with another couple, the Vinos, are going to Oklahoma for a day trip up and back to see the Pioneer lady or Pioneer woman, her set and her business.
Oh, whoa.
She's on HGTV. I think.
Wait, you're going to the set?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Whoa, that's in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, mom loves her.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to that. The sheer fact of what we're doing, but something we're doing with another couple. My apprehensions is that's a lot of travel for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Please be safe.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited that we have officially McKenna and I completed one set of the cornhole games.
Woo, 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 woo! Sweatshop complete!
That she's ready to deliver to the owner of that crap game board.
Yes. I saw them. They're in the garage, guys. They look so good. They're Kansas City Chiefs colors. Yeah, we're still taking orders, I think. I don't know. Are we?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. You heard it here first. That's good.
Excited about that.
Yeah.
Bumming that Aiden and I aren't going to get to go on OA this weekend.
Yeah.
But
and it would have been his ordeal, right?
yes.
His first time?
Yes,
Okay.
it would have been his first time.
It's okay.
With the boys and
knock
everything.
on wood. Knock on wood that another camp out will be planned.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
Again, the pandemic and everything, it is a moment in time, and this too shall pass.
Yes.
There will be vaccines. People will heal. So yes, dark times are not always upon us.
Nope.
I'm thankful for today's Friday. I just finished my second week of online classes I had in this month of July. I'm taking 2 online classes called... one is called Acting and Auditioning for the Camera, and another one is called Business for the Actor. So basically just learning how to self-manage yourself, get representation, all the ins and outs of the business and the industry. But I'm learning a lot. It's only been the second week, and I have so many notes written down, and I feel like I'm just learning a lot and, kind of really building a vocabulary and a list of terms and just lingo I know about the business now, which is really helpful. It's really good. And it makes me super excited and nervous to be a senior and start doing the thing and auditioning for places. So yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. Before we head out, please follow us on all of our socials. We're on Facebook. Our Facebook page is The Rhodes Less Traveled with 1 L. Again, that's Rhodes, Rhodes, like our last name. Haha, puns. Which, by the way, I also researched, and the other Rhodes Less Traveled page is some kind of family band or something that I guess does like country or bluegrass music. So that's our competition right now. So if you're listening, please stand down in the nicest way possible. We're on Instagram at @the_Rhodes_less_traveled_. We're also on TikTok at the Rhodes Less Traveled. Please just keep sending all the love out you can into the world. Thank you so much for listening to another episode. And yeah, thank you guys. We love you. And thank you for traveling down the roads less traveled.
Thank you.